Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I am Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman, and I am very excited and pleased to be sitting in Sacred Circle with each and every one of you again this evening, on Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. A very, very high energy. Yeah, it could be very subtle too, going on in the background type of energies. So I'm going to welcome everyone to this Sacred Circle, to this show. Again, I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman. For those of you who may not, this is maybe your first time watching, so welcome. And this is very interactive, so we do encourage comments and just share the love, not just with myself and with each others that's sitting in this circle. This is a sacred circle where you will receive and give these beautiful energies. It's a beautiful exchange that takes place. So I also would like for you to visit my website, whitesagewoman.com, for those of you who maybe have not visited my website. I have made some changes under like the healing services. So there has been some updates. Try to update it quite often. So try to get to the website, whitesagewoman.com, and check that out. Okay, here we go. Yay. Good evening, Chris. Yes, happy Sunday. Good evening, Wendy. Yes, on this 333 night. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with that in numerology, 2019 is a number 3 year. All right. And so it's, if you were to add 2 plus 0 is still going to be 2 plus 1. All right, is 3. And then 3 plus 9 is 12. And then 1 plus 2, take that down, is 3. Or we can drop the 9s. Remember that in math? Just drop the 9. And 2 plus 1 is 3. And there you go. You're going to end up with the same number. Drop the 9. So the 333. Very, very powerful day. High energy spiritually. And it's also known as the day of the Master Teacher. Ooh, and I will enlighten you all just a little bit more about that soon, shortly here. And we may be starting to experience already some type of, I've noticed, some kind of communication difficulties or hang-ups. And oh, yes, we'll talk about that as well. So good evening, Robin. How are you? Thank you for joining us in Sacred Circle this evening. All right. So as I was saying, that today is happy 333, the day of the Master Teacher. And this is a very exciting day. And all this energy just is all interwoven lately. There's always something significant lately about everything that is happening to us, whether it's new moon, full moon, whether it's all coming in. These energies, high vibrational energies, are all coming in at a much faster rate than ever before. And before we get more into that, and I gave my website, whitesagewoman.com, and again, welcoming everyone that's listening live on Spreaker Radio. All right. Those that are listening live on Spreaker, what is Spreaker Radio? Welcome to you. And my website was White Sage Woman. I'm going to repeat that just for those that sage is S-A-G-E, like the herb sage, White Sage Woman, or like the spiritual teacher, Sage. All right. whitesagewoman.com. That's the website. I want to ask how many people here, when visiting my website, there's healing services, cosmic heart healing. And we'll get to that for those who maybe don't understand what cosmic heart healing is. And psychic medium or divine channeled readings. Of course, I'm an ordained minister as well. And then there's online classes. So out of the healings, the readings, and the online classes, how many of you have, let's do this. If you have experienced just a reading session with me, put in a number 1 or put in reading in the comments. Reading, put in number 1. For a healing session, put in 2. For online classes, 3. And if you've done all 3, then you can put 1, 2, 3. So I just curious to see how many in the comments are familiar with everything that I have to offer. So, oh, hello, Sarah. How are you, dear? Chris, yes, and there's a lot. We are in the Mercury retrograde shadow. Hello, everyone. My computer does not want to allow Facebook to work. Thank you for the smartphone. Yes, and that's something we'll talk about. I mean, just briefly, we all are familiar with Mercury retrograde, but I've noticed that Facebook is really, I'm not sure, turned up some security things, because I'm finding even this TV studio that I use that works supposed to harmoniously with Facebook and going live is kind of glitchy tonight. So I'm knock on wood, everything will be fine. So, all right, here we go now, allowing for some comments to come in. Chris, Hermit, yes, done all 3. Wendy, all 3. Rachel, 1. Yes, the readings, right. Well, Rachel, you're a very powerful healer yourself. 1 and 3 does avatar class. Yes, it's an online class, Sarah. So yes, 1 and 3. Very good. Very good. Well, guess what? All of you who are here every Sunday can put in 2 as well. It is a healing session, isn't it? Giving and receiving. So I just wanted to see, and then maybe those who are reading the comments too, just let everyone know the familiarity and how it's sitting in sacred circle with all of us. All right, so we do have Wednesday, March 6th is when Mercury retrograde hits full force, so to speak. We are on the pre-shadow now. It hits full force on the same day of feeling the new moon in Pisces. Wow. So what does this mean really spiritually is it's very powerful time for us to get that inside inner work done. We've got the energy supporting us of a new moon, and Mercury going retrograde absolutely does support our inner work that we do. It messes up communication outside of us, but not that inner dialogue and that inner communication. Oh, great, Robin, too. Yes, thank you. Aw, there you go. See? So it's don't, cringe and prepare for anything. It's just, okay. It should be a reminder, too. And I've gotten better with, okay, so the computer or things don't want to work for you. Step aside, just step away and go do something else. Whether it's I haven't journaled in a minute. I'm going to sit down and journal. Whether it's I'm going to go do something else, whatever it is. And so just go with the flow and explore. It's kind of like, when the power goes out, we do things. Why? We do things that we don't normally do when the power's on. So it's like when the power's out, we got this. Let's break out the board games. Let's break out cards. Let's sit around a fire or candles and just have fun. Why don't we do that when the power's on? So it's kind of like the same thing like with technology, right? It's like, so it's kind of going old school with Mercury retrograde is going old school. Which there's nothing wrong with that old school type of, okay, spirituality, going within, journaling, doing some more things maybe that we don't do when we get distracted by technology, distracted by everyday, routines, so to speak. So it's so I just like to think of Mercury retrograde as a power outage, so to speak, to some degree with technology. It's going to be fluctuating, and not to be frustrated, and just to have fun with it, because it's meant for us to work on that inner master teacher, that mastership. All right. So that leads to today, 333. I'm going to share some things that Reverend Brian Rawls mentioned on his show on last Wednesday evening. His show, A Magical Journey, is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. live right here on the Goldylocks Productions Facebook page. He does TV as well, TV and radio. He takes callers, and I'm just completely devoted to the live viewers here and live radio with no callers. So, but his show was a little peek into 333. And I'm going to share with you, because I didn't do this research. He did. I'm giving him credit for that, him and his teachers. All right. So, and I've heard many people say that this is the master teacher number in numerology, 333. So this number is very spiritual and even religiously, that the meanings have magnificent creative expression and allows for focus at a spiritual level. So that this energy of the 33 brings also focus to being of service on a healing level. All right. So now let's look at the spiritual significance of 333, which means that your prayers have been answered. Also, the number 33 has a very interesting resignation with the word Elohim, I might be saying it wrong, Elohim, and is appearing 33 times in the Genesis story of creation. 33 is also the numeric equivalent of the word amen. So doesn't that word always, it vibrates. It's the way this word sounds. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Just I've always resonated with that word amen by itself. Has that same power like I am. Amen. Pretty interesting, huh? All right, so it is also stated that the great ascended master Jesus, or Yeshua, crossed over or transitioned at the age of 33. Now, this is interesting. In the DNA helix, there are exactly 33 turns within complete sequence of the DNA. 33 turns and 33 vertebrae in the human spine. So it's a lot of interesting significance to the number 33. Things that, come on, there's no coincidence, right? So the energies of the sacred 33 is also found within the Great Pyramids of Egypt, where it hums the frequency of 33 hertz, which is known as the Christ consciousness hertz. All right. So 333 activating the master teacher. Very interesting, isn't it? Isn't that just, it just all falls into place. Like I said, there is no coincidences. Hello, and the ascended masters and master teachers, they left us really powerful information and things that we, of course, once we access within ourselves, but they also left us some very powerful information for us to refer to. And so I think that that's all very interesting. So, all right. And I want you to be comfortable with mastery, mastership. master teacher. If you feel uncomfortable with this, we need to work through that, because that's what the upper vibrations in the fifth dimension and higher, that's what they deal with, this type of mastery. All right. And it's not that we need to suffer anymore. It's not that we're not deserving. We are. All right. So it's very important just to clear that, heal that, release and resolve, resolve and release. I've always resonated with the number 3. Yes, me too, Chris. 3s and 4s, 4s angelic numbers. So 3s and 4s, 3 and 7. 7's a very spiritual number too. And, I like to use 37 together sometimes, the 3s and the 7s. And so it's very, very powerful. Yes, I love that. So it's, and part of this mastery is, and we've been doing this a lot in our past shows, right? Is helping all of us to allow these high vibrational energies to help us with our balancing, to help us with the ascension. All right. So it's to allow these energies. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit now about like the violet flame and the lilac flame. This is all very necessary for our mastership here, the ascension mastership, enlightenment mastership. So I offer this session. This was actually first came to me as a healing technique, very powerful. In 2016, I always ask for shortcuts with my angels and team of light beings and guides. I always look for shortcuts to something. Let's make simple. Show me in its original form. Show me, because man makes things so difficult. We manipulate things to where and separate so much. We divide, separate, that we lose that original oneness of what it's supposed to be. And I want to experience always as a healer that sacred oneness of healing, not continued separation, label, tag, all this stuff. It's enough. Man has manipulated enough, and we are all opening up in our clear divine channels now, and we're receiving this information and this validation. And so let's not analyze like we used to, or like we were taught to. So what is cosmic heart healing? When you hear me talk about I'm a cosmic heart healer, that's the type of healing that I do. It's really like a combination of everything that I have been trained or experienced in. All right. So cosmic heart healing is an advanced yet simple system of healing. Like I said, in 2016, I was shown this form of advanced and powerful energy technique in a vision. Mother Mary, Isis, and the divine feminine avatars all brought in this purple, white, and pink pulsating energy in a form of a heart inside the Merkaba symbol. I have, for the last, oh my goodness, over 15 years, just every time I close my eyes or meditation, I see purple. There's just purple, that purple glow. And it wasn't until I stepped into healing that I realized is the violet flame. So now the violet flame is we're having all these powerful healing avatars come in together. And when Mother Mary and the divine feminine adds to what's called is the violet flame, which is very masculine, Saint Germain, we now get the lilac flame when Mother Mary puts her energy into it, or her flame. So we have this beautiful union of the violet and lilac, because the lilac includes not just purple, but white and pink. All right. So I was instructed to connect with a cosmic heart healing by connecting through our own sacred heart chakra. So heart to heart, radiate this cosmic healing out in all directions, vibrations, dimensions, and realms to all living beings. So the lilac fire flame is a perfectly balanced 9th dimensional tool for mastership and ascension. It is the highest and finest manifestation of the violet flame that humanity has been offered so far. It is a shortcut, and it's a loophole. And Tiffany, what do you mean by a loophole? I mean that you don't need permission to use it. Ha ha. I've always been told you don't need permission for healing, but yet you sit in any type of certification right away. I understand the permission for reading someone and share that information with them. There's sometimes people just have their SOS and have all their stuff, in their aura, and they get near you and you just got it. You got it, whether you ask for it or not. That doesn't mean you repeat it or say anything. You just, ooh, woo, that's an open book. Okay, thank you very much. Put a little love, walk away. It's up to them if they want to accept that love. It's not meddling. I've never, ever thought and always stated that when you send healing out for the highest, and healing should only come from the highest intention and vibrations, it's not meddling. It's not being pushy. All right. Going up to somebody when you get an impression and try to give them a reading that they didn't ask for, that's pushy. That's no. To me, you need permission. Let people come to you. But we as healers, we can heal without having to wait for that. At all right? Because there's so much healing on so many different vibrations that can be done. Helping with the earth and with all living beings, the healing grid. And that's what I was showed, is that I'm not directly sending healing to someone. When I send healing out, I'm sending it to the earth's grid. And I let the angels and the light beings who's handling this healing energy direct it to who will accept it. Now, you can put a name to it, and then with our prayers, our healing prayers, I'm going to put the name. So think of like your healing prayers as an orb that you're charging, or a crystal ball, or I like to use a crystal ball when I'm sending out distant healing or even distant prayers, and I'll say the name, and encase it in this beautiful violet lilac flame and let the angels take it. Now, it's the person's choice if they want to accept it or not. No healing is ever wasted. It always goes to someone who will accept it and embrace it. All living beings. It could be the land, who ends up taking it. It could be an animal. It just put it out there. This whole permission thing stops people. But this is kind of the loophole with that whole energy, to where you don't need it. It's so high, and you don't need permission in these upper vibrations, because technically everyone's that high ascension, that master teacher vibration to be in these vibrations. And so I will tell you, as you're carrying yourself in this higher frequency, there's going to be more and more people that will probably be scared of your vibration and your energy and back away from you. And that's okay. And it can even be people that are close to you. So just know this. Wendy, yes. I see purple too. Yes, Robin, yeah. No surprise, ladies. Right? Ooh, let me get a sip here. No surprise. All right. Now, I've been talking about a lot with as we are sitting in sacred circle, and there is like this hum I always hear in the background, and I know that's the angels. And the healing angels is the light healers that's always working. They're sitting in sacred circle with us and working the 12 chakras. For those of you who may not be familiar, on the 12 chakra system, trying to get the glare off. There we go. All right, 12 chakra system is what is needed for fifth dimension and higher. All right, our 7 chakras is 3D, and we can't take that. We need more. We need more. All right. Now, I know last week I shared with you, and I know Chris felt the same way. Some of you may have felt the same way, that we are like very ultra sensitive lately. I mean, really bad hermit sensitivity to where I can't. Okay, I don't even want to talk on the phone to somebody, to family and friends. Isn't that terrible? I mean, I'll sit here and text you, you know. I mean, like, if my sons or husband need me, of course. But I'm just saying that, you know, family or friends really said, hey, I really need you. Sure. But it's almost like that whole, sure, you know, for a healing session, a phone session, a reading. Yes, because it's not about me. All right. It's just opening up that conduit. But on a personal level, I've never been, even growing up, maybe because I'm so sensitive to the energies, and you can feel it, of course, through the phone. It's kind of magnified. It's like an amplifier. So I don't like to be on the phone too long, believe it or not, you know. I may talk right here, but I do have my moments of just extreme, just silence, quiet. And so what when I sat into sacred circle with my angelic committee and the Council of Light Beings, they were sharing with me that when we activate and balance and our 12 chakras and they get in harmony, guess what will happen? It will make us feel more sensitive and more connected to everyone, their energies as well. So that puts in that's that hypersensitivity. So we must protect ourselves with the violet and the lilac flame daily, or with the lilac flame, because that's just the highest form of the violet flame. So that was what they had told me. They were just like shared with me, is that this is why. That's our sign, folks. That's our validation of this ascension, is when we're getting really ultra sensitive. Almost feels like we're antisocial, but we're not. The thing is that we're feeling people on such a faster and higher vibration that we know their intention immediately. Right? So it can, and it's like, hey, you know, I need to talk to you. You get this text or something, hey, I need to talk to you, and you immediately, oh my goodness, they're going to dump on me. I can't handle this. I can't handle a dump session right now, a dump conversation. And our family and friends are the first ones to do that to us, aren't they? That's just protect yourself and listen to that intuition. I want to help somebody. But if they're not going to, come on, we've all known, I was like this at one time in my 20s. I just wanted to vent and to talk. I didn't really want to have energy exchange. I just wanted to release, you know, and that's dangerous. And then when I finally realized what I was doing and take responsibility for my own actions of, you know, vomiting out of my mouth, maybe some words that were off-putting, off-balancing, and actions, it was like, okay, I'm held responsible and liable for this. Let me just take responsibility for this and move forward in a more balanced way. All right. So, and that's when you can recognize someone else that's going through that, and that they don't care what you have to say, quite honestly, that they want to learn the hard way. But the wheel of karma is no longer in existence. All right. That's very low 3D energy. No more sacrificing, martyring ourselves. I'll get this done on the next lifetime. No. It's instant karma. I know we talked about this too. And we can settle all our past debts in this lifetime just simply by being in servitude with this, for humanity, with this mission. And how do you, what do you, how do you volunteer or help humanity? We get in that human doing type of mode of I'll go volunteer, I'll go do this. And that's fine. It's your intentions. But what about the being part? Just being in your sacred space that you should be creating every day, every night, and sending out healing in all directions is so powerful. But we don't see it with our own eyes, so we don't even know if it really works, but it does work. And we do get validation that it works. You just have to trust that it's working and send it out there. So let's see. Wendy, flames look violet to me these days. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. You are correct. So many people do not want to take responsibility for their own stuff, so they dump it on us. Right. And that's what we sense and are ultra sensitive to. And it's like back away from. No. Robin, I've always absorbed other people's energy. It's been a very long time to learn not to receive it. Yes, me too. Right, Robin, right? You used to be so stressed out. Then you would feel guilty for not receiving it, right? And it's like, what are we doing? We are being played like a violin for people like that who know how to work the sensitive or the empath. So we go through all these ranges of responsibility and ownership. And then we get past that. No more guilt, no nothing. People are just, they're going to be who they are. And we just in love and light and move on. Release and resolve. Don't hold on to anything. All right. And so, yes, and I like being, the positive energy, that balanced energy, whatever energy is needed to bring a situation to balance. Because if a situation does need some negativity, you push negativity there. And that sounds kind of crazy, right? Because we've been in such a negative type of 3D environment that we need a lot of positive. But there are some people out there that are so blinded by the light that they actually need, these are people we say need a dose of reality. Well, they're in their own reality. They're really in the upper vibrations. They won't embrace this earth plane, and they need to fall into their body fully, be grounded, and connect with the earth star. All right. And these are the ones that actually need some negativity sent their way to balance them. So this healing energy that we send out is just going to contain whatever someone needs to be in the balanced state, to be in harmony vibrationally. Right? That should be the focus right there, just the key. The less we know, and I tell people when they put their names, I do have a healing and prayer list on my website. You don't have to put your modality. Don't tell me everything that's going on. Because that's your body in the 3D, because disease is an illusion. Once we get past all that, take responsibility, ownership, and heal ourselves, all right, then we can, by going in these upper vibrations of healing, we are whole and complete and in harmony. All right. I do too. Yes. I use Tibetan bowls. I have drums too. And it really, I have to tell you, it's different, right? It's different energies when you feel like you're going to grab your Tibetan bowl. I do that to raise vibrations, or if I feel like I need to cleanse and clear. The gong behind me, that's not just for show. I actually do that in part of ritual every morning. The plants, your plants, every living being inside, out of your home, hear this, feel this vibration, through the walls, through the floor. And so I like to play the gong and some bowl meditation music for like a half hour. Not the gong. I'll just do that a couple times. But the bowls are a bowl because I have a favorite Tibetan bowl. For a half hour, just go around in every room and just let the bowl do its thing. And it really does. You can feel it's instantaneously. Well, the same thing with the drumming. But I find that when we use a drum, that you connect instantaneously with Mother Earth's heartbeat. You eventually find that heartbeat and you're in rhythm with it. And then it's healing. I like to do that deep, deep healing, especially in the winter time when everything's underground. Work on the seeds that you want sprouted in the spring. Work on, it's very powerful. It's down and deep. So it's, the drum's like deep, deep, that rhythm, deep, deep in the earth. And the bowls are like high, vibrational. And you bring them all together and it's like so ultra balancing. Isn't it? It's like also cool. Oh my goodness. Yes. You're drumming, Chris. Okay. I have to tell you, and I've had people have different theories about it, and it's okay because my angels tell me why. I can't listen to a crystal ball being stricken. Because I've been told a lot of times too that my chakras are very crystalline. It's like taking two crystals and going clink. That's the reaction to me when I hear that. It's nails on a chalkboard. It's not very high vibrational for me to receive it that way. So I wouldn't want to strike a crystal. I want to hold the crystal. And that's okay. If you react in a great way with it, that's beautiful. I'm just saying that for me, I can't listen to a crystal bowl. It actually twists my energy and I end up with a really bad headache afterwards. It's like, oh my gosh. And I have to get all that off. Okay. So it's okay. I love chimes too. I have 3 sets of chimes that ring. Yes. I love that as well. Yes, I do too. Lots of wind chimes. Yes. Lately, though, we've had such high winds in Connecticut, I had to bring them back in. But I love the wind chimes and all the different tones. Welcome, Amy. Hey, it's okay. Your spot has been reserved, and you can catch up. All right, it's still here to receive beautiful healing that's going around. And so don't anyone, what I just said about the crystal, please don't let don't take that wrong. There's some people who don't like the sound of metal bowls or gongs being struck. It depends on, I'm a very strong metal energy, but I love the metal, and it's in harmony with that. In crystals, though, I can't, because it's such a part of me in the earth as well, but it's different. And I'm sure everyone has there's some type of tools that you just aren't for you. Take it or leave it. It's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. Well, it is, as we know it, in low vibrational 3D. And so here's the thing, is that is very interesting, is that this is why we are seeing people more warring, more fighting, is because 3D is actually moving up to 4th D. But these people don't want to go beyond 4th dimension. They feel that they're being pulled into like what I call, there's multiple dimensions even within the 4th dimension. There's these certain levels. And like when you first cross over, 4th dimension heaven, all right, or like energy transportation, the airport, subway system, whatever, energy's coming and going. Same type of energy like in a hospital, that coming and going. You've got the areas where the angels heal and cocoon people when they first cross over. All right. So it's those that feel they're being pulled to this fourth dimension, and they're fighting it because they're used to their 3D blueprint. And all these people aren't mean. Okay. So don't get me wrong either when you maybe have heard that there's those that don't want to give up the 3D. Now I tell you, a majority of them are the ones that are trying to control and rule in the 3D. They don't want to give that up. All right. But it's everyday people too, maybe who don't like change or who doesn't understand what's going on, is going to fight and resist it first. So they're the ones too that are feeling the pull to the fourth dimension and maybe are fighting it. And then all they got to do is just release, cut the cord, release the cord from their body, and then just cross over. All right. And so that's all. But those that are really, really into the 3D blueprint and don't want to give that up, they will fight to the death, so to speak. All right. And not be a part of it. But that's okay, because when they cross over, they're going back to God anyway. All right. So it really is so much bigger than what we see. All right. And that's good, Chris. Play to your heart. Yes, they make your heart sing. That's great. They vibrate with you. So that's what you have to do, whatever vibrates with you. That's beautiful. So, so beautiful. All right. Thirsty. Woo! Feel the energies. All right. So we've talked about activating the lilac flame. A lot of us work with it. A lot of us healers have been doing this anyway. And especially when you receive an attunement, you should also in your attunement have received the violet flame activation, Saint Germain violet flame, at least that as a base and as a start. And so the lilac flame is the ascension. See, you got that divine feminine, add that in there, and it's ascending it. Well, I didn't realize until a couple things. The angels told me, you need to go back. Everything that we're telling you is in the book, Diana Cooper and Tim Wild, The Archangel Guide to Enlightenment and Mastery. All right, it's in this book. Oops. I love this book. Living in the fifth dimension. That's just the start. Many of us, like I said, we're going much higher. So when you were meditating, so to speak, or vibrating at a higher frequency in the fifth dimension, we're actually having moments in much higher dimensions. And then just like here, and meditating in the 3D, we can go very high. Some people have gone to seventh dimensions, even if it's just for a minute, and come back. You have that frequency within you, and it doesn't go away. No one can take that away from you. So they referred me to go back to the book, the Lilac, it's chapter 42, the Lilac Fire of Source. And so I was like, oh, to me it was like just a whole validation of everything. I really didn't understand what I was channeled in 2016. I actually did sit down too and put together this whole cosmic heart healing course to connect with to open up that sacred heart center. I didn't even get all the way through that course, and there was only very few select people who were test piloting it for me. We didn't even finish it because I heard stop, wait. And I'm like, okay, because things were changing and transforming so fast. We're going to transform this. And I had already channeled a psychic medium development course years ago. And so then they were okay. And this was last year. I think it was last summer when they say, okay, now it was on pause, now we're going to release it, you're going to take the Cosmic Heart Healing course and combine it with the Psychic Medium course and call it Cosmic Heart Healing, and to reflect that type of healing work that I do. And many of you know this, or as this course as Activate Your Avatar, and sat in Sacred Circle and took this course in the fall. So that's how Activate Your Avatar came about. So in taking the course, guess what? You did open up your Sacred Heart Center. You are receiving and working with the Cosmic Heart Healing energies. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So it was like coming off full circle, and many of us who channel, especially in journal, and we get things that we might not understand, but we get that aha moments maybe later, and even if it's years later, it's okay. It's still beautiful. I love that. And it was like, oh, I get it now, because it was preparing for, the next step, of our ascension. So remember, in 2014 and 2015 is when we were saturated with this divine energy coming in. And now it's like after 2015, now we're leveling. Let's all leveling out, balancing out, that beautiful harmonious dance between the masculine and the feminine and the masculine. Together, in the number 8 is just, whether it's infinity or the number 8, it's a beautiful dance. All right, so it's like, oh, I get it. So there is this decree, the lilac fire of source, and it was interesting because I was like, oh yes, I remember this decree. Now, you don't have to say it to activate it, all right? Because many of us have activated it. It's a type of energy that's in my aura. And if you sit in a sacred circle with me, you've got it. You got it. And that, it's all of us. And whatever we're doing in our healing work, when we come together, we're activating each other. Let me just make that correction, all right? So a lot of us who are sitting in the sacred circle and who are commenting are very powerful divine channels and healers. And we all are bringing something to this circle. All right? And I appreciate that. So I'm going to just say the words. We don't have to say it every day because it's already a part of us. It's in our vibration. And I personally like to say everything 3 times. And however you want to end it. Some people like to end with, and so it is. Some people like to say amen. Some people like to, I always just instinctively, and it may come from Atlantean times, go as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. I'll go through all of that. And so I had watched a replay recently of Tim Wilde, and he was talking about, there's no coincidences, right? He was talking about the violet flame and the lilac flame, the divine feminine, adding to that. And so I was like, this sounds very familiar. And that was just recently within the last week. And I'm like, wow, everything's just fallen into place, And so then I was like, why does this sound familiar? Then the angels and my beings are like, you've got the book, pull it out. It's actually in the book. And I was like, and they're like, so this is what the Cosmic Heart Healing is. All right. So the decree for lilac fire of source. I'm going to say this, and it's already encoded, but I love that the vibration of this decree is so high. All right. I am the lilac fire of source. I am the flame of love. I am the wings of freedom. I am the song of joy. I am the heart of the new golden age. I am ready. Bathe me in your light. That's beautiful, isn't it? I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Bathe me in your light. Now, I like to take the I ams and go immediately to the we are. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. Bathe us in your light. And so it is. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within. That's all directions. Set. There we go. Now, everywhere you go and vibrate, it's going to be stronger. We've just strengthened and increased our lilac flame. All right? Our lilac flame. And so that was interesting too, is this that I would stare at the purple, but yet I was seeing pink and white at the same time. But the white's like that Christ consciousness yellow white, that golden white. So it's just so beautiful. I'm sorry, I'm stopping a lot tonight, because there's a lot to say. And when I want to share something, and then as you're channeling, you have to have this harmony. So it's like I pause to hear the next thing. So it does give you goosebumps, doesn't it? It's very powerful. And so, yeah. It's beautiful. If you don't have this book and you would like to have that decree, you can private message me or you can email me, and I will be happy to send that to you. All right. And look, here's 3 and 7. Here's my email address, gnostic-healing37@hotmail.com. And for those listening on radio, Gnostic Healing. Gnostic is GNOSTIC, healing 37@hotmail.com. And I will be happy to send that to you. So if you'd like to repeat it, you may do so. It's set, but sometimes we like to have that reminder, don't we? Yes, it is very peaceful, isn't it, Sarah? Oh, yes. And make sure you give my godson Austin there huge hugs. I hope he's watching too. Let's see. Whoopsies. Let me go back up here. Where are we? Okay. There is a lady, Robin, that goes by the name Divine Medium. She says the word amen is a false god's name and evil. Oh, yes. I've heard of, I'm not going to speak bad about anybody. I have nothing bad to say about if you know, every situation has a dark and a light, and every energy healer, every divine person should know this. And if you, as a healer, it is your responsibility to make sure that information you give is balanced and in harmony. Sure, you think it's bad. What's the good to it too? Every situation, every vibration is on the same pole, the same existence. I always like to use the analogy of a battery. A battery has positive and negative in this battery in order to work. You can't just focus on one thing. All right? So I have always, amen is very beautiful for me. Don't let anyone take you off of how you feel or try to stray you from your inner truth and your inner peace. That's what people that live in the dark, breathe in the dark, and have cultish tendencies do. And that's all I'm going to say. You might not even agree with anything I say. That's fine. Just take what you can use and leave the rest. But just be aware I hope she has positive and balanced teachings too. So it's, people who are spiritual and then they change suddenly. And there is a very big, many of us have bought her books, her cards. Someone who was in the very high spiritual realm and had angel courses, fairy courses. We all know who I'm talking about. I'm going to be respectful and not say her name. And she suddenly went very religious and denounced everything that she was teaching. Send her love and light. Peace be to you. Okay. I want it. You want the book or you want that? Yeah, just message me, Robin, and I'll get you that. Okay, Chris, the page, it is page 241, chapter 42, the Lilac Fire of Source, page 241, 4, 5, 6, 7, ends at number 7. Oh, you're not funny, Chris. You hear me? 241 of the books. Those that do have this book, it's on page 241. All right. I'm not sure about her and feel like she is on talking to false gods. You should always know who you're communicating with, right? Okay, good. I don't. It's what resonates with you. Exactly. It resonates with you. That's all right. Very, very, and even with, you're welcome, Chris. Even teaching you how to listen to your intuition and opening up and communicating. This is why I always say, I want to communicate with those for my highest and greatest, the angels, the angelic realm, the light beings, because we do have councils of light. What does that mean? That means aliens. That means our ancestors, our star ancestors. Yes, don't be scared of that. No, they're not like these little green men. It's going to take over the world. Oh, Hollywood is so funny. Anyway, all right. These are beings that are rooting for humanity in this ascension process. And when I have talked before about 2032, coming back to peace in 2032, it's not like it's instantaneous. Boom, here we are. 2032 we are crescendoing up to that point. It's almost 2020, 2032. We're like 12 and a half years away. 12 and a half years of this ascension to take us to 2032, which is the beginning of the golden age. Another golden age of peace and harmony. Wow. And we're here to help facilitate and bring in this whole ascension process back to peace. Because many of us, this is our mission. I have suffered enough on this earth plane, but I love this earth. And I want to help Mother Earth and humanity ascend. All right? Woo! I feel like I just taken hits off nitrous oxide. Woo! Oh, exactly. It's actually, I'm going to credit Sylvia Brown. She used to say that. And again, you can take it. She helped me wipe dust off my spiritual foundation. I had hit rock bottom, and in 2000, 18 years ago, if it had not been for her teachings in her books, I don't know where I was coming around back to who I was. And she really helped. Of course, Edgar Casey, her, but she would say, take what you can use and just leave the rest. Absolutely. And I love that. Take what resonates with you. But yeah, so even if we are born and all children are born very open, very intuitive, very high vibrational. And then with years of social programming, we tend to shut down, usually by the age 10. All right. They say by the age 10, even psychologists agree that by age 10, your morals are set. And I changed that to, it's not really your morals. It's what society wants you to think and believe. That's what sets. The best way to honor a child, let them be who they are. We are their guardians. We are not, yes, parents, we are their guardians, but we don't own them. What a great honor to be caregivers for them and to send them on their way, to be the love and light that they are. All right. And I know sometimes as a parent, that's hard and you do have to back off, but we can't control and manipulate anyone. And this is just not for parents. This is people who are very valuable mentors with children, all right, who don't have kids of their own, but are still providing service to the youth. So it's those that are still close. And then guess what happens? And this happened to a lot of us because this is that time frame. We were very close. I remember a lot right up to even high school. I think for me, when I fell out of balance onto my face really was when womanhood graced me with her presence. But I was 15 and I know I was late talking to other women, but that threw me for a loop for like years. It threw me off balance. Woo! Women go through what? This? Why? I mean, that's not fair. Anyway, and it was teaching me balance between masculine and feminine. I understand all that. So coming back around and embracing, and again, growing up in a strict Christian household, and then finding out that there are very spiritual people that, just kind of kept quiet. And we all find each other, and then we help each other and bring us right back to where we need to be. So she really helped me to have that courage to dust off that spiritual foundation and not be a closet spiritualist or spiritual, be in hiding. Because remember now, in past lives, we had to be very careful and kind of, in the closet or secretive or hide out in tunnels or caves with our beliefs because we would have been killed, right? Or prosecuted, right? Teach and allow them to be who they are. Absolutely, Sarah. Yes. Allow them to be who they are. All right. So, wow, the time just goes by so fast, doesn't it? Well, whatever time is, this moment together has gone by so quickly, but I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed all this sharing and all of this beautiful love and light and the healing that has taken place for all of us. And so just take the things that resonate with you, take this healing and high vibrational energy and share that with everyone throughout your week, throughout your days. We'll get through this beautiful new moon coming up on Wednesday and Mercury retrograde. It's okay. It's all right. And this Mercury retrograde starts on the 6th and ends, I didn't put when it ended, did I? Yes, sorry. Actually, the 5th. I'm sorry. The 5th through the 28th of March. That's a big chunk of March. It's a good 3 weeks. The 5th through the 28th. So, only warning with that is don't buy anything new car, new home, don't sign contracts, anything that seems to go like it's okay will suddenly turn around and turn very sour afterwards. There'll be some difficulties communication-wise and all of that. So just if you can't, if you can avoid it, please do that. All right. Avoid major stuff. If you can't, ask for the angels to protect that situation, to come in and help out and have things move smoothly, and it will. Okay. Oh, there's Teresa. Hello. Oh, thank you, everyone. And yes, have a very beautiful week ahead. Thank you, Robin. Yes, and Sarah, beautiful. So thank you, everyone, for sitting in Sacred Circle with me, with each and every one of us. Whether you listen live on radio, on Spreaker Radio, or you watched live, thank you, everyone. Good night. Many blessings. We are blessed, and let's share that blessing with everyone just by simply being the love we are. Until next week, good night.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.